This is Brian with Daylight Drainage. We specialize in residential, yard drainage, and home drainage services. We work specifically with sump pumps, French drains, underground downspout systems, crawl space management, foundation management, and basement waterproofing. Right here, for example, we have the Zoeller M53 sump pump. We use Zoeller, they're American-made cast iron sump pumps. This is in a top 10 quietest rated sump pumps on the market. If we're putting to install one under your house, this is the sump pump we're gonna use. For larger exterior drainage needs or heavy duty drainage needs, we'll use the Zoeller M98, which is a half horsepower sump pump that moves water like you wouldn't believe. So as we move through this display, you'll see the different products we use. For example, the pipe that we use and the connections that we use Schedule 40 PVC pipe. That is a thicker, higher density pipe. It's made for high pressure systems, but we use it in gravity feed systems. You can run over this pipe very properly. It is super durable. It'll last for decades. It's an incredible product. When you see it compared to other pipes, you'll see these are both 4-inch diameter pipes, but the thickness there, this is what we see commonly. We actually pulled this out of someone's yard because it was crushed further down the pipe. We replaced it with Schedule 40. As we move down the system, you'll see what we have here is it's what's called a pop-up emitter. People often ask, well, where do I take the water? What do I do with the water? Redirection of water is easy. Ending the system and where to take it to is sometimes the difficult part. When you don't have a curb or you can take it to an area that doesn't have a sidewalk or a street, we often use these pop-up emitters somewhere else in the yard. You can see that they're spring-loaded, and sometimes we take off the spring for lower pressure systems. There's not a lot behind it, but as the pressure builds, at the end of a run, pressure builds up, the water comes up, it pushes this, water emits, and then it closes, preventing rodents, insects, anything else entering the system. So right here, this is our example of a French drain. The way we build our French drains, we build them very robust. We use high quality products and high quality fittings that a lot of other companies don't. We see over and over, we pull out a lot of failed French drains that are clogged with mud and dirt or have been crushed or no longer function. And there's multiple reasons for that. It's sometimes materials and it's sometimes the build. You'll see here that we use a 4-ounce filter fabric. This is a non-woven geotextile fabric. You could run a garden hose through this, it'll flow right through it, but it holds soil behind retaining walls and boulders in landscaping. It's needle punched and it's incredibly durable. We wrap all of our French drain systems in this, whether that's interior or exterior. One thing that we take pride in these builds is keeping soil out everywhere that we can. Keeping it out of downspout systems, and especially out of French drains. When a French drain has a perforated pipe, when soil enters that system, it clogs it and ruins the whole system. So we look inside of our French drain, we use a larger aggregate. We actually use a 1.5-inch round river rock. You can use 3/4 open gravel like you'd see on a walking path. Sometimes for interior jobs, we'll use that aggregate. It works great, but the reason we use this is a larger stone allows more filtration, infiltration through the rock and into the drain itself. Also over time, no matter how much pressure you put on these stones, because of their size and how round they are not gonna lock together, always making sure that water will flow through the system. As you look inside the French drain, what you'll see is we use a black corrugated pipe. You'll see it's perforated around the entire pipe. This is one of the fastest moving pipes for water due to its durability and due to its smooth interior. And again, the fact that it has perforation around the entire pipe, not just on the top or bottom. You can see the inside is smooth like PVC. They also resist freeze and thaw. They flex with freeze and thaw, where sometimes rigid PVC will become brittle over time. When we attach these, we attach them with Fernco fittings. And when we wrap our Fernco fittings in our PVC tile tape, this PVC tile tape is waterproof. We wrap it around all of our corrugated fittings. Even if we use Ferncos, which have hose clamps and are tightened down, that helps with root intrusion, also just more durability and strength. And the reason we use these fittings is because we also, for every French drain we install, we include cleanouts. I cannot tell you how many times we go to a client's home and they say, I think I have a French drain. I don't know where it is, and I don't know if it's functioning anymore. Well, we often see cleanouts in other applications such as sewer drains and downspout systems, but for some reason people leave them off French drains. But we kind of figured out why. It takes more effort to install one. That's why we use these durable fittings so that we can have this clean out. This comes up to the grade. We cover that with a valve box with a cover. So this sits here so you don't have an unattractive, unsightly clean out. You can open the lid of this box, access your clean out. We can run our camera scope through that clean out or run water through it and make sure your system still functions years later. So you'll see here with our French drain, it's at a minimal slope. We grade everything to a 1% slope minimum, meaning you're gonna get 1 inch of fall for every 8 feet. But you'll see with just that little bit of slope, how much water this French drain moves and how quickly it moves water with the amount of perforation we have in that pipe. We have what's called a catch basin. This is a surface drain. This would be set at a low point in a garden or a driveway, and it catches surface water, and then that can be directed through a downspout system or somewhere, some other way off to the end of a pop-up emitter. One thing we like to do with our catch basins is we like to install a reusable filter with them. That way you don't have a bunch of mud you got to clean out the bottom of it. You unscrew the top, you take out the filter, you shake it out, hose it off, put it right back in. You don't have a clogged system. Again, soil retention, keeping dirt out of your system. Schedule 40 PVC for a downspout system. We always install cleanouts on downspout systems when we do underground systems. Again, we want to know when things, make sure things are working properly for years to come. It allows us to inspect them. You'll also notice that with these connections, they have a curved directional on these elbows here. Same thing here. The reason for that is when we put a camera or a jetter down there, it flows right through it. You'll see in older applications, they'll use tees like this that slam water, no direction, and we can't get our equipment through that, meaning we'd have to cut the pipe to then inspect it. So this is an example of one of our underground downspout systems. You see the downspout here? This would be on the corner of your house. We add a PVC downspout adapter and a clean out, at least at the top of every run, if not at every downspout. And then this would be 3-inch pipe or 4-inch pipe. We often use the 3-inch PVC. This would go underground, and then it would be built out like you see here for these underground downspout systems. This is one of the most important things you can do to prevent water issues around your home. The roof water coming off is an immense amount of water. Keeping that away from your foundation and directing it to a place to the street or to your yard is crucial to proper drainage in a residential application. So we talk about the differences in these pipes. Again, dual wall, corrugated, will look the same as your single wall corrugated on the exterior. But there's that smooth wall. Not only does it move water faster, as we've mentioned, but its durability and stability is what makes the biggest difference. So what this portion represents with our French drain is a dimple mat. We use these on foundations. These are one of the most essential parts of drainage systems, especially when you're dealing with footing drains around the exterior of your home or in your basement. This creates a capillary break. Water can hit this, and instead of pushing through your concrete, it'll be forced down into the rock. It's bent over the footing of the foundation wall, and then that dimple mat is bent right over into the French drain. We build our French drains around this, keeping soil out, like I said, but it forces the water directly into the pipe itself. We actually added a rubberized sealant on the behind it, just as an extra layer of protection if this was to ever crack. But the way we build them, they are sealed, they are screwed down, nailed down. Everything is sealed with silicone as well and bolted in to make sure everything is leak proof as well. But these are complete systems. When you add a footing drain, built the way we build them, with a dimple mat, it will protect your foundation and stop basement water intrusion better than any other system out there. So if you're experiencing any standing water issues, drainage issues, underground downspout issues, intrusion in the crawl space or basement, check us out. We also do inspections as well as year-round maintenance. We do free estimates as well. So if you're experiencing any of those things, or you'd like your system checked, give us a call or go to daylightdrainage.com and reach out to us on our contact form. We'll make sure to get back to you.